Good morning, my friends. Well, it's morning here. I hope it's okay at time wherever you are. We are about to move into July, so mid-year, no matter what season you are in as you watch this. And we're going to be talking today about ambition. What is it that drives my heart and my hopes? So I invite you to come with me as we walk with Jesus and his ambitions. I want to pick up the story from Matthew chapter 13, where Jesus, down by the lakeside, begins to tell some of his parables. And the first one is that lovely one about the sower going out to sow. And he says, imagine the sower. So he gives us the invitation to put ourselves there in our minds. And as he sows, as any sower would, some of the seed just falls loosely by the edge of the path. Some falls into rocky ground, some among thorns, and some into good rich soil. And that, of course, is us, you and me. I'll come back to that in a moment. Jesus' parables go on because, you see, in telling the story, he's actually calling us to think about what our ambition is. What is it that's driving us? Is it the word of God, the seed? Or is it something else? The word of the world. He goes on then about other parables, which are all absolutely lovely. I love them all. Including the one of the treasure and the pearl. And we turn over the page to chapter 14, and we come to one of the most poignant, touching moments in Jesus' life, outside of the crucifixion, if you like. John the Baptist has just been murdered in prison, beheaded in prison. And John's disciples come to Jesus and tell him the terrible news. And Jesus is absolutely devastated. The senseless, brutal murder of his cousin, his friend, and probably the only one who got him, the only one who understood what his mission was all about. And Matthew records, when Jesus received this news, he withdrew by boat to a lonely place where they could be by themselves. He needed time to grieve. You and I know we all grieve in different ways. Some people need people around them when they're grieving. Others need to be alone. And Jesus, the human Jesus, was suffering terribly. So he takes his disciples and he goes away to be alone. But you know, the inevitable. The people see him and they wonder what's going on, so they find him where he's gone to. And what does he do? He puts aside his own grief, his own needs for the moment, and talks to them, replenishes them with his words and his actions, and then feeds them. And it's the first miracle of the loaves that we see there. This is absolutely a wonderful story as it unfolds. And what it's saying to us, my friends, is that it's calling us to look at our ambition. Is my ambition really to bear the seed of God? Or is it not? Is it my own needs? If it's calling me to bear the seed of God, then I need to look at that first parable I mentioned. I need to look at what kind of soil I am. Am I shallow, flighty soil where the seed doesn't take root? I might be excited by Jesus' words for a moment and then something gorgeous comes on TV and I completely forget about him. Am I the kind of soil that is thorny? Am I an angry, bitter sort of person where the seed just gets choked because of my own negativism? Am I seed, I've forgotten the other one now, doesn't matter, we'll move on. Or am I rich soil? Soil that is open in my heart, my head and my soul, open to receiving the word. And if I am, and if I do receive the seed that is God, if that's my ambition to take that to others, then I need to be able to engage with them. I need to engage with the world as Jesus engaged with his world, even in his grief. That's a big call, it's a big ask, and I need to be ready for it if that's my ambition. So as we go into July, I leave you with those thoughts, and perhaps we can pick it up again on another occasion. God bless and go well.